Hi viewers, welcome back to my tutorial for today. I sincerely appreciate you guys for all your support. And please, if you're yet to subscribe, kindly hit on that red icon to subscribe and also touch the notification bell to be the first to be notified whenever we upload a new video. So now today's class we shall be doing a very quick tutorial on how to cut a collar stand with a collar four. So I'll first of all draft it out on this collar stay, then we'll now use it to cut out our main fabric. So the first thing to do is to measure out our round neck. As you can see, I'll first of all folded this place for the button. So I'll just take my round measurements from this point round to this edge. So I'll just quickly take that measurement now. Okay, and after taking the round measurement, I have 21.5 inches. So when divided into 2, it will give us 10.75. So I'll first of all mark out a straight line where all my measurements will start from. Hope you are seeing what I'm doing. So all my measurements will start from this line. So I'll first take and I'll start my measurement from this folded edge. So here now, I'll determine how long I want my collar stand to be. Then I'll be using 1 inch. So I'll just mark my 1 inch, come to another end, mark another 1 inch. So here now I'll just connect the lines. So here I'll take my neckline measurement. You know this is folded into 2. So I'll take my neckline measurement, and the neckline I'm working with is 10.75. So I've marked out my 10.75 and I'll come down again and mark another 10.75 to the second line, which is here. So here now I'll go in at the second line. I'll go in by 1 inch. Okay, sorry, I'll first of all connect this. I'll join this line together this way. Then here I'll come in by 1 inch this place. So from this 1 inch now, I'll just make a slight curve this way. I'll just make a slight curve from the second line to meet this place this way. So the next thing to do now is to take my collar for measurement. So here you just determine how wide you want it to be. So for this place I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. So I'll just take my 1.5 inches measurement. At this folded part, I'll come out by 1.5 inches. Then I'll come at the middle and come out by 1.5 inches. Then at this end point, at this end edge here, I'll come out maybe by ×2 of what you're making use of here, or you can come down by 4 inches, but I'll make use of 3 inches, which is ×2 of what I have here. So I'll come down by 3 inches here. Then at this point here now, I'll go in by 1 inch, or you can come by half an inch, but I'll just go in by 1 inch here. Okay, here I'll come in by 1 inch. Then at this point here, I'll just connect this line from here now. I'll just connect it to this 1 inch that I have here. I'll just connect this one to this one. Then I'll make a slight curve from this point now. I'll make a slight curve here to meet this 1.5 that I have here. Hope you can see it. I'll join this 1.5 to this one. Then from this to this 3 inches that I have here, to this 3 inches that I have here, please ignore this one here. So from this now, I will connect it to this 1 inch that I have at this point, and that is it. So I'll just go ahead now and cut it out following these lines that I drew here. So just this way. Okay, after cutting, I have this. So what I will do now is to bring my fabric. Okay, here now, I'll just place this on my fabric at the, I'll use the gumming side to place on the wrong side of this my fabric. So I'll use my iron to iron it up, and as you can see, I left some space like 1/2 inch here for my joining. So I'll just use my iron now to gum it to add to the fabric. Okay, after that I have now here this. So the next thing to do now is to use this to cut out another fabric that we use in turning it up. Okay, now I've cut out another fabric for the lining. So what I have to do now is to go to my machine, sew from here, from this edge, then come down to this inner part this way to this edge, then I'll come down again. So let me just go to my machine and do the stitching. Just from this edge here, I'll go straight. So when I'm sewing, I'll be sewing close to this collar stay. So I'll just sew like this, the inner part, then to this edge, then I'll go down again and stop here. I won't be stitching up this place. Okay, now I've carefully stitched it up. So the next thing to do now is to turn it over. Just use my scissors. So here now, I'll go ahead and iron it. Okay, after my ironing, and I have this. So the next thing to do now is to place this one on it. But if you have to make sure that this gum part faces this part. So this is what I mean. Okay, so placing this way, this one should come close this way. Then you have to determine the excesses that you have here and here. You should make sure that what you have here is equal to what you have here. And if you can recall, we used 1 inch here, then on cutting the fabric we added an inch. So if you added half an inch for your sewing, you have 1.5 here and 1.5 at this part. But I added quarter an inch, so what I have here is 1 1/4, that is 1.25, 1.25. And at this point again I have my 1.25. So what I have to do now is to take the other lining, place it on top here. But before that, let me use a pin to hold it up so that it will be firm before placing this one at the top. Okay, I've hold it up with a pin to make it firm. But if finding the equal here and here will be hard for you, you can just notch the center part of this upper one, notch the center part of this down one, then place the two centers together. Then you can easily get the one that will be left over here. So now I will just take this, the lining, place it on the top this way. So I'll go to my machine and I'll sew it up from here. Then when I'm sewing, I will make sure that I sew closely to this my collar stay. So I'll just sew from here this way round to this point, and make sure that when you are sewing together with this middle one. So just sew like this, and you come up again here and stop at this edge. So let me just quickly go to my machine now and do the stitching. Okay, this is it. So I'll just go ahead now and trim out this excess that is here, because it's not really necessary. Okay, so this is what we have, and after everything, so I'll just go ahead now and press it. Okay, so this is the result of what we have. You can actually make yours bigger than this just to add up your numbers. And another thing you have to know here is when fixing this on our shirt, this place that has the paper stay, this place that has the collar stay will be facing the neck, will be the one to be touching the neck, while this upper part, this falling collar will be facing outside. So by the end of the day, we are having something like this. So by the end of the day, we are having something this way. So this is the result of our collar stand with our collar fallen. So thank you for watching till the end. Till we meet in my next class. And please, if this tutorial is helpful, please give us a thumbs up And also don't forget to subscribe. It's absolutely free. We will meet in my next class. Bye.